here we go. Right, welcome back everybody. I promised it was going to be quick, and it certainly was, wasn't it? Literally, it's been a splash and dash for the BCV8 Championship drivers. Back to the outer paddock, and as you can see, they're already back in, ready for race 2. This is Ian Pryor's car, by the way. He went off. I won't tell you what he was doing down there. Sorry, nothing dodgy. But the car did put a handbrake. I don't even know if it has a handbrake, but it started to roll down the hill. So great job by these gentlemen here to save Ian Pryor's car from going through the fence and causing a red flag in the assembly area. That would have been quite something, wouldn't it? Guys, race 1 was quite exciting, wasn't it? Certainly between Mr. Pryor, Fowler and Wheeler right at the sharp end, Charles.
Yeah, very exciting race from those three. Obviously towards the end I think they started to sort of save themselves for the second race. But yeah, at least for the first half of the race, it was very dicey between the three of them, and you got some that are better in the straights, some that are better in the corners, and it made it very exciting racing.
Sorry to shout over you there, Charles. Johnny Wheeler here, of course, James's dad. Did you proud, didn't he?
Oh, he certainly did. That was amazing to keep these D-class back that far. Yeah. You know, in a little C-class car, but yeah.
I would say little C-class, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. But the work we did over the winters paid off. That's really good.
Now I know, James, you guys have got another car, haven't you? So you are going to be out this season, aren't you, Johnny?
Yes, yeah.
Now,
our D-class car just needs a gearbox, and we'll be out.
Fantastic stuff. Right, thanks for talking to us. We are going to go grab a word with James. Let's have a quick chat with him because James, we've just been chatting to the old man there. You did it proud, didn't you? Keeping up with Ian and Neil.
That was, yeah, try and make a C-class do something you shouldn't do. But,
were you at a point there where you just ended up, once they got past, just saved the car because you were comfortably in the lead?
Yeah, well, the exhaust dropped off on the wide piece, so it was sounding really loud in the car, but apparently it wasn't too bad outside.
No, and, we did hear something actually, didn't we, Mitch?
Yeah,
we did say something.
It was, yeah, so it dropped off almost as I went off the start. I heard it drop and it sounded really loud. I thought they're going to call me in, but apparently it wasn't that loud outside. And then, yeah, so I just thought I'm going to start short shifting. Once I knew I couldn't hang with Ian anymore, I was like, I'll short shift and take the class win. So, yeah.
Hey, well done. Top man.
But I'll give him another battle. I'm not going to let him win it easily.
Well, we're just chatting to his dad. There is a D-class car waiting for you, isn't there, this season?
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
We'll be back out now, hopefully Castle Combe. So.
Brilliant. Well, we'll be
you
there.
You do look as you're driving. Well. Sorry, Ian. I was going to say you do look as you're driving around. You've got so much confidence in the car and everything else. How you can hang it around the outside of them through paddock and around Druids and just know and trust that it's going to stick and not step out on you. Like, it must be feeling really hooked up for how you drive.
I'll tell you what, this car is handling amazingly. Yeah, it handles better than my D-class. We need to think about what we do with my D-class to what we've done with this, because this handles better than D-class, but obviously isn't quick in the straight line. So they've got the horses on me down the straight. Around the corners, it just sticks. It's lovely. Yeah, really nice.
One quick question as well, then, before we leave you to it. How are the tyres in that race? Because it sort of looked towards the end of the race, the rears were starting to go off a bit, and you were having a little bit more squirrely moments coming out of Graham Hill and a few other places. I mean, how do you find it?
Yeah, so I've dropped the pressures while we've had that little gap, and hoping they're cooling down enough now. But yeah, that was the other reason for the backing off. I was just cooking the tyres. So they're a bit wider. They've got a bit more tread than I've got. So their tyres don't go off as quick, so that's the other reason why the gaps eventually went, but we'll see how long we can stay in front of them this time.
Yeah, well, all the best for it, and best of luck. Congratulations on the win for the first one. No worries.
Cheers, James. Let's go over here. Neil Fowler's over here, of course, race 1 winner. We do want to catch up with him. We've got the green machine of Greenwood just going past us there.
It's always nice to know, Ian, even from afar, I do kind of know what I'm looking at and talking about.
There we go.
Called it in there, and yeah, on the dot, so that's brilliant. But yeah, no, fantastic first race from him. It'd be interesting and exciting to see what he's going to do.
Well, this is good timing, actually, because we've got the top 2 here. Gentlemen, don't go there. Ian, stop running away. Stop, Neil. It's good to see you as well, by the way. How are you? Congratulations, Neil, on the win.
Thank you.
Just coming through the field, you're so quick on those straights. You've got so much power.
Yeah, so much power. It was a little bit hairy at times. I perhaps could have taken a little bit longer, but you know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, and I could see James and Ian ahead. I just thought I need to get through as quick as possible.
You've got to do it all again now.
So I've got to do it all again.
It is nice seeing it because, as I was saying to Charles and the guys at the top, I've been with the BCV8s for a few years, and sometimes getting to the checkered flag has been an issue, not through a fault of your own, but
for me it has.
For a couple of mechanical issues.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that was a lot of gearbox issues, which touch wood, which I can't. Hopefully, that's solved now. That's solved. So yeah. It's just a case of tweaking things now, trying to get the best out of the car.
We're going to enjoy watching you come through. Ian, you're going to keep him back this time, right?
I'll try.
That's the confidence we love to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What have you been up to?
I've got, to be fair, I've got no fifth gear.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So I'm just bouncing off the rev limiter all the way down the straight, and you know, I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 2 seconds slower than I'd normally be, and it's no good basically.
Early in the season, no point in wrecking a car, is there? I suppose. So,
Well, I wrecked it last year. I just didn't bother fixing it.
I was going to ask, you've been busy over the winter fixing
No,
it. Clearly not.
no. I got it out on Friday and put it on the trailer. That was it. That is genuinely
Well, not
it.
bad, then. Second place, that'll do you, won't it?
Could have been worse.
No, nice one. I'll let you go in. I know you love being in front of the camera, so let's keep going, shall we? And move around a little bit. I did see actually Ollie Wardle's up there too, and we saw quite a bit of smoke coming out of his car all day.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we could just make sure. I'm sure everything is fine because he's finished the races. He's carried on, hasn't he? So clearly it's nothing too bad. But let's go see if we can grab a very, very quick word with him, shall we? And then we're going to grab a word with Ken Deemer up there too. Ollie, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. Yeah, good racing in race one, wasn't it? I have noticed there's been quite a bit of blue smoke coming out the back of the car. Is it all right?
Yeah, it's dripping oil. The sump gasket's dripping oil into the exhaust.
Right.
So we've tried to seal it up. It's other than getting a new gasket on there, which is engine out job in this.
Yeah.
It's a bit best we can do at the moment.
Are you confident in the car though? Still happy with it? You haven't lost any performance or anything, have you?
Yeah, no, it's going well. Apart from that, and it chokes me every now and then and there. But other than that, it's okay.
So we see a load of smoke coming out the window, won't be too concerned. You're not lighting up in there.
No. No, not quite.
Right, well, let me crack on anyway. It was good to see you, mate.
Cheers,
You take care, enjoy the race, won't you? Race 2 coming up, as we said. Let's just go up here. I just want to say hello to Mr. Deemer because you may recognise this car. You probably do recognise this car because it has been the showpiece car in all of our media, hasn't it? Oh, yeah. How you doing, Ken? You all right?
All right, Ian. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah,
good,
mate. And you, mate. Now, I want to ask you a question because we've literally just finished race 1.
Yep.
What happened? You finished the race, straight back to outer paddock. What did you do to get this ready?
Just check the tyres, put some fuel in it, check the oil,
And that's
back
it.
out.
Wow. Do
That
you
is
prefer it like this when it's just you can't think about it, it's got to go and do it, or do you like it when there's about maybe a 2-3 hour gap?
I mean, this has
between?
worked really well, but if you've got a problem with your car, you're knackered. So you really do want an hour between each one. But do you know what? That was a really good, fun first race.
Yeah.
I completely cocked up the safety car. Like, I was doing really well before it. Safety car comes out, going around for a lap. I'm now thinking about the world, and they've gone. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, James didn't go early, did he? He went. I mean, he was down on almost on a Cooper straight when he went, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, caught me out. Caught me napping. So, but anyway, I'm back in the game.
No, yeah, that's it.
Back
no,
in the
you
game.
don't catch Ken Deemer. You've got to get up early to catch that man out. But James did it early. Cheers, Ken. Let's keep going down. Shall we look at this beautiful piece of machinery here? Let's just have a quick word. Well, thank you for coming down. How are you doing? Thanks for bringing it down as well. It's
thank you.
Congratulations as well for winning the invitation class in race 1 as well. Tell us more about the car. How did you come to get it?
So this isn't my car. This actually belongs to my friend Colin Jones. It's been in continuous race use since 1972 when he's retired from racing. Wow. So I hop on the plane a couple times a year, come over from Canada, and he's kind enough to let me use it.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you over here from Canada as well. What do you make of Brands Hatch?
It's a great track. I've been here once or twice before, and I'd like to say thank you to the car club and the BCV8s for letting us come out and run. I hope there'll be more MGAs later in the year, but we needed a place to be, and it was very good of them to make space for us. So
it's a bit nicer when the sun's shining. We don't get a lot of that in April.
No. I lived here for 7 years. I'm well aware of that.
Oh, you know, yeah. Thanks for bringing it down.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
care. Good luck for the race as well. Enjoy it, won't you? Right, gentlemen, let's keep going. Let's grab a quick word with Tim, shall we, just before we head off. Hello, Tim. Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Race 1, how was it for you?
Yeah, it's pretty hectic out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, throughout the entire weekend, you guys are late running, I suppose. The first race, I mean, we went early, didn't we? But sort of the second and almost penultimate race of the day.
Yeah.
How's the track been evolving from qualifying this morning? Because it was 10:25 you went out this morning, and then it wasn't until 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, much better. A lot more grip now. Yeah. Well, I span in practice, but managed to keep it in a straight line this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So best of luck. Enjoy the race.
Thank you
So much. Right, the race ahead must be coming to almost a bit of a close now. So we're going to slowly make our way down. Oh, there we go. Helmets on already. That was perfect timing. It was almost as if I meant to do that. Let's just pop up the results from race 1 onto the screen for you, so you can see for yourself how things finished. It was a very entertaining race. Neil Fowler here just off to our left. Expect to him come storming through the field again. There's Mr. Tovey. He was having a very eventful race as well. That's how things finished. A little bit earlier, I mean, when I say a little bit earlier, it was like 45 minutes ago. That's how close it has been, wasn't it? James Wheeler, sorry, that was qualifying results I'm reading off now. The race results, it was an absolute corker, wasn't it? Whilst we're just making our way back very slowly as well, let's just pop the calendar dates up for the rest of the BCV8 Championship in 2023. There's quite a lot of meetings there. We're going to be live for a lot of them, not all of them. Next up, we're going to be live with them at Castle Combe on, I think it's the 1st of May. That might even be a Monday, actually. I think it's a bank holiday Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, bank holiday.
Our first ever trip to Castle Combe. I've never been before, so I don't really know what to expect at the circuit, but I do know it's a wonderful atmosphere up there, Charles.
Yeah, it's a proper old school circuit. You know, very fast, very few sort of tight corners that breaks up the rhythm of it. I've not personally raced it or driven it myself, so I'm looking forward to joining you and getting a bit of a lay of the land.
Well, it's going to be an experience for all of us. Mitch, have you ever gone around Castle Combe?
Yeah, I did my first ever race in a Hyundai at Castle Combe, and it was complete bone dry for qualifying and torrential, and I mean Class A storm for the race, and that place floods if it rains, so bring a coat just in case.
Bring a coat. Well, I bought one this weekend. We've needed it as well. Although the sun is shining, it has been cold. Right, a little bit earlier, actually, just before race 1, we did catch up with David Strike as well, didn't we, and Babak Farzian too, and just caught a little glimpse of how they're feeling and had a sneaky peek inside Babak Farzian's cockpit. Roll VT. David Strike looking to strike it lucky. That was terrible, wasn't it?
That was terrible.
You've heard that before, haven't you?
The only way is forward from here.
Yeah, it is. Are you looking forward to this one? Conditions are perfect.
Oh, yeah, it's good now. Better than qualifying. It was really a bit slippery in qualifying.
Yeah.
And I was taking it easy with the brake issue. So hopefully we're sorted. That's why I'm back here.
You think it's sorted now?
Yeah. Hopefully.
We'll be watching. Best of luck. David Strike there had a brake issue in qualifying, we think. So let's keep on going around. We've got Mr. Balfour here as well. Let's jump out. I want to very quickly talk to Babak Farzian, if that's all right, because they're not long to go and they are going to be going out on track. Babak, Happy New Year and all that stuff, and bits and bobs and things like that. You can only do a few laps in qualifying. Is that because you were straight out in the next race as well?
No, that's because my fire extinguisher had extinguished.
Oh my goodness, you're joking. I mean, that could be quite serious, couldn't it?
Yeah. But no, it's all okay now. All sorted.
You're all sorted.
Yeah.
Can I just get the camera around and just have a look in the cockpit here, because it's got to be one of the smartest sort of dashboard cockpits I've ever seen. Have a look at that. Charles, what do you make of that smart, hey?
Yeah, it looks like it's been designed by an engineer, that. Someone with OCD at least. It's very smart.
Let's keep going around.
Any chance I've hit the nail on the head with either of those?
Definitely wasn't me, so yeah, it was someone that was a pro.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much.
Find out here. Okay. Cut audio, boys. Rightio, we're just making our way up to position now. There's the race dates for the BCV8 Championship. Don't forget, if you do want to find out more about the BCV8 Championship, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight through to the BCV8 Championship website. Give it a click. However, we always want to hear from you, so please get involved in the comment section at Live Sport Now on YouTube. Again, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. Make sure you hit subscribe if you are watching it Live Sport Now on YouTube. or my Supercar on YouTube. Please do comment. Tell us where you're watching from this afternoon. It's a glorious Sunday afternoon now. The sun is making its way down now here at Brands Hatch. Actually quite bright now.
Yeah, it's quite bright now, and it's something that we have spoken about as well, that the lower this sun gets further into the day, obviously racing that a little bit later, the sun's going to be right in your eyes, especially heading into Surtees. I know that myself, and I know that Mitch as well, as we've raced late in the day, we know what that feels like. Do you want to try and explain what it's like racing blind?
It's kind of that feeling of, I know the corner should be here somewhere, and I really hope I've guessed right. But the problem is that more cars that are around you, the more the light reflects off different places, and it ends up with you not being able to see absolutely anything.
Yeah, exactly that. It's quite tricky. It adds an extra element to things, especially if you're only running clear visors. You sort of end up squinting into corners, or sort of looking to the side of you more than ahead of you for reference points of where to turn in, where to brake, and where to sort of hit the lines that you need to hit. And yeah, you're basically just driving off instincts, which is when things become even more fun, in my personal opinion. That's why I love racing in the wet. I don't know about yourself, Rich. How do you feel about racing in the wet?
Racing in the wet is great fun, but well, actually, fortunately today we haven't had to do too much of that since I think about 11:30 this morning. Yeah,
exactly. And to be fair, I don't know about you, but I'm quite happy that it's dry, because commentating in the wet, I don't think I'd enjoy it quite as much. So yeah, we've been very lucky, I think, with the weather this weekend, that even when it has been sort of wet on track, it has been very dry.
It's all right. You just need a big brolly. Right, let's just run through your grid for this BCV8 Championship Race 2 here at Brands Hatch, the opening weekend of the season for the BCV8 Championship. Your pole man is going to be James Wheeler. Once again, Ian Price in second place. Russell McAngus is third. Luke Spencer is fourth. Andrew Young is fifth. Oliver Wardle is sixth. We just heard from him, haven't we? Steve Wells is seventh. Russell McCarthy is eighth. Chris Greenwood is ninth. Ken Deemer is 10th. We've heard from him as well. Guy Samuels is 11th. Jordan Spencer is 12th. Stuart Dickinson is 13th. We heard from him in the invitation class all the way over from Canada. Paul Linfield will line up 14th. Tim Rides will line up 15th. Michael Chittenden will line up 16th, although I'm not sure if he's going to take the grid because he retired from race 1. David Strike is 17th and Babak Farzian 18th, although I don't remember seeing Babak either in the holding area, but I could be wrong. So here we go, race 2 for the BCV8 Championship about to get underway. It is going to be another thoroughly exciting race indeed. 15 minutes of heavyweight action here. We were talking about it a little bit earlier in race 1. It's a heavy metal motorsport, and we're going to get some loud noises going on now, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty of the V8s always sound gorgeous, depending on obviously the different type of crankshaft they've got on them, giving them different tones, but we won't go into that. I'm sure people don't really want to be bored with a lecture on engineering and
some
noise.
People might, Charles.
They might.
Me, but some people might.
There we go. But yeah, as you were saying, battle of the heavyweights, and I think the D cars coming through is going to be one to watch. I mean, obviously we saw how much quicker down the straight they were in the first race, and how that played a pivotal role. But obviously with James Wheeler up front doing an amazing job to keep him off for as long as he did in race 1, starting on pole and having the gap with all those cars between him and them, I think will make things very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, actually, when I went through the grid order, of course, Neil Pryor's name isn't down there. He didn't actually take to qualifying a little bit earlier, so had to do a few laps behind the safety car at lunch, hence the reason he's starting at the back. It makes it entertaining for us, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. It gives us plenty to talk about. Well, hopefully.
No, it certainly will. Good racing, though, in that first race. Plenty more to come, I'm sure. 20-minute race coming up for the BCV8 Championship. Remember, comment below. We can hear from you. Tell us, where are you watching this afternoon? Are you at home? Are you at work? And where in the world are you as well? We just want to say a big thank you for the entire weekend to our broadcast partners with multiple MG car clubs, not just in the UK, but all over the world as well. Australia is one, Singapore's another. Maybe Argentina, I think. I couldn't quite understand what the language said, so it might be Argentina we're broadcasting to, somewhere in South America. Anyway, hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We really, really do. And of course, we are going to be back live with the BCV8 Championship next month as well. In fact, mind you, we're the 2nd of April today, so it is about a month, isn't it? 'Cause it's the 1st of May. So yes, we are going to be back though with the BCV8 Championship soon for you. Plenty of action, live motorsport to bring you throughout the course of the season with the MG Car Club. We're also delighted to say we're going to be bringing you the action from the BMW Car Club Summerfest at Alton Park as well in June. In fact, June's a big month because we've also got MG Live happening that weekend too, which is going to be a cracker at Silverstone, and you can watch it all with us live. Make sure you hit subscribe over at Live Sport Now on YouTube. Don't know if I've said that enough.
I don't think so. Say it again.
Live Sport Now on YouTube. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. Make sure you hit like, comment, share. You know.
And if any of those other countries are really enjoying the broadcast, feel free to invite us out to somewhere that's a lot warmer than the UK.
Listen, I know we're broadcasting the MG Car Club in South Australia, and I just want to say good day to everybody. That mind you, probably in bed now. Actually, aren't they? It's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
Night, I think.
So we've probably got no viewers from South Australia right now. But when you wake up in the morning, Monday morning, which probably a lot of you'll be getting up for work now. Actually, why not put it on in the office? Why not?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would do.
Especially if you're working from home, there's no excuse.
Yeah, and if you need a live streaming doing down in South Australia, we are available. You just name it, we'll be there. Just as long as you pay for it too.
Yeah. And the flights.
Everything. Yeah. Right. So almost time. I'm just waiting to see whether the track is clear, isn't it, Mitch? Isn't it? It looks like we're just waiting for the cars to come out.
So are the marshals. They're all stood on the grid wondering what's going on. They look thoroughly bored. But no, we have to thank the marshals again. I admire them greatly. I've been in a couple of accidents, particularly here actually, and the marshals are so understanding and so helpful, and it's brilliant to see them come out weekend after weekend to help us idiots go racing.
Yeah, you said it. We are running very much ahead of schedule as well. This race wasn't supposed to be lights out until 5:30. It's actually 10 to 5 now. So by the time we get underway, we're going to be at least half an hour ahead of schedule, which is great because it's not been without incident this weekend, has it?
No, there's been a fair few incidents on track throughout the weekend, whether it be people dropping oil and the marshals being hard at work, putting the dust down, or whether it's been the odd accident as well, which obviously the team has done a brilliant job to make sure everybody's safe and get the races back underway so that we can be so far ahead of schedule. You can now see all of the cars have been released from the holding area and they are taking their positions on the grid, directed there, as Mitch rightly said, by the wonderful Orange Army marshals that we have here at
the best
Brands
in the
Hatch.
world, actually, in the UK. I know we're broadcasting across the world, but I must say the UK marshals have got to be the best in the world, surely, right?
They are.
They go all over the world doing Formula One, don't they, and international events all over. So, yeah, thank you. And I think today and this weekend has been a prime example of the amazing work that they do. We were talking a little bit earlier, if we could very quickly, Leon, just pop the camera down the actual middle of the paddock here. Always gets a bit emotional when you get towards the end of the weekend. This isn't actually the last race of the weekend. I believe it is we've got a Triple M race up next. We're not going to be bringing you that though, but this is our last race of the weekend. But there is still another race here, but it does get I always find it a bit sad and emotional at this time. We get close to 5 o'clock on a Sunday and suddenly the paddock sort of empties, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sort of feels a little bit like a ghost town, or well, not a ghost town, but it does feel, wrong almost that a paddock isn't full of cars and people and lots of loud noises as it normally is during a weekend. And the people that are out there racing now, they deserve the same amount of attention and everything else as the guys earlier on in the weekend. So but these things happen, and I'm sure some of those people have got a very long way to go. I know, for example, Ross, who is
Graham Ross in the MG Trophy, two-time winner this weekend. He's got to go back to Scotland.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't really blame him for wanting to get on the road that little bit earlier. Nice little 6-8 hour drive, probably a bit more.
Depends where in Scotland, doesn't it? I suppose. But yes,
and that's not including the M25.
Mind you, anywhere in Scotland's a long way, isn't it? Really, from here. So here we go. There is James Wheeler line up. Of course, green flag lap to come. Marshall's just making their way off the track. One thing that was very noticeable, actually, Mitch, during the start of the race for race one, was Ian Pryor's wheel spinning. It looked like he really struggled to get off the line, but by the first corner, because he's in the Class D car over James in the Class C, he was right on top of him, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did get back at it, but he caused absolute carnage behind. There was several sketchy moments, all caused actually by him not being able to get away cleanly, but amazingly, and I still haven't worked out how they managed it, they all got to turn one without any major dents.
Can I just say, what a sight Do you know what? It's I'm actually getting quite emotional. It's 5 to 5 on a Sunday afternoon. The sun is shining, and we've got a whole plethora of BCV8 Championship cars, and we're in the best seat in the house. Is there anywhere else you'd rather be right now, guys? Really?
Personally, no. Unless it was inside one of those cars.
Yeah.
I think that might top it a little bit, but other than that, no, I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be.
I would
Yourself,
quite like
Mitch?
to be with the MG Car Club in South Australia if they're watching.
No, I think Wheeler's seat, probably the best seat in the house, but apart from that, no, I'm pretty happy up here.
Yeah, it is a privilege to be able to call the action for you, and a big thank you to my two partners in crime this weekend, Charles Boniface and Mitch Murray. Charles, if we want to find out more about you, you're both racing drivers, but how do we find out more about you, Charles?
So if you want to find out more about me, you can go to find me on Instagram, Facebook. I do have a YouTube channel, though it's not had anything uploaded to it for a little while. So yeah, you can find me on there. Just see Boniface, Boniface 14, and you can pretty much find me. Yeah, hashtag back the Boniface, as they say.
Back the Boniface, hashtag back the Boniface. Mitch.
Mitch Murray Motorsport, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube if you so desire, but to be honest I post more acting stuff on there at the moment because I'd like to show that I can annoy people in all forms of sports and drama and whatever. So,
well, it's been a pleasure for me to be surrounded by two incredibly talented people, and for the last time this weekend at Brands Hatch, we are about to call the action here with the BCV8 Championship. Just so you know, car number 39 is going to line up at the end of the pit lane, it looks like. And that's Russell McCarthy. So McCarthy's going to start from the pit lane, was due to take the 8th place grid spot, hence the reason there's a big gap there. Right, green flags are being waved. It's Wheeler against Pryor, round 2, with Fowler right in the mix as well. He's going to come storming through the field. And here we go, it's time to go racing for the BCV8 Championship Race 2. And again, Ian Pryor gets a little bit bogged down off the start. Looked like he was maybe even rolling a little bit further forward. But it is going to be Wheeler once again. It's almost a bit of deja vu. Wheeler leads into turn 1, Pryor in 2nd place. And I think Ollie Wardle's got himself up to 3rd. Wow. Now, 3 abreast, look at that.
Fantastic start there, and as you were saying, 3 abreast into Druids, and straight down the middle to take that position. That was brave. You never really know if the guys have seen you. And yeah, fantastic overtake there. I can't quite see which red number that was, but absolutely brilliant going between the two of them.
Well, so far everybody's through safely, and they're now going through Graham Hill. The leaders heading up now into Surtees. Lap 1 here, Wheeler leads from Pryor, and I think it is Ollie Wardle in 3rd. I think Luke Spencer is in 3rd place. I'll clarify that with TSL as soon as they come over the line. But again, chaps, we've seen a very clean opening lap here.
Yeah, fantastic racing, and it's something that we've seen all weekend as well. We can't give the club and the drivers enough praise for that, because as racing drivers we see it time and time again, and I'm sure it's stuff that you've seen as well, Mitch, that having untidy race starts isn't uncommon, and yeah, all weekend they've just been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they managed to keep it clean again there, even though I think it was the number 72 got some second stage wheel spin and caused them to go 4 wide into paddock, which I was pretty sure wasn't going to work, and they all made it stick. So, credit to these guys out here. That was an impressive start.
And you can hear those V8s roaring again. Ian Pryor, it is worth noting, Ian Pryor into Class D, the fastest class here. Wheeler running around in Class C, but keeping him honest, isn't he? And Wardle still managing to hold on to 3rd place as well. Great racing all throughout the field here for BCV8 Championship live at Brands Hatch. 2nd race of the day, in fact, 2nd race in an hour. Really, for them, bless him. I wonder how, that's something we were talking about a little bit actually. I wonder how these cars are going to cope, because they do run high temperatures, don't they, Mitch?
Yeah, I noticed in assembly, Fowler's tyres had barely even cooled down from the race before, so it's going to be telling towards the end whether they can keep the temps down. And there's a spin at the bottom of paddock. Looks like number 72, possibly?
Yeah, I think it is. It's Wells has had a spin in Class C, so he was in 6th place, but Wells has had a bit of a spin.
Oh, and a big off on the exit there. He went into the gravel. He did somehow manage to collect it and keep it out of the wall, but that must have been a right massive moment inside the car. He's got to collect himself now and try and get back to normal. Sorry about that, Ian.
No, it's okay. I think it's McCarthy who might have had a moment. Let's just have a quick look. It's number 78 running at the back. That's Rides. We spoke to Rides, but McCarthy, Russell McCarthy in his MGB is actually off the track somewhere. So it looks like we've lost McCarthy from this race. I'm not sure why, because I'm not seeing any waved yellows anywhere. I'm just having a look down in front of me. I can't see McCarthy anywhere, but according to TSL, he's I don't even know if he started.
I don't think he started, Ian, because there was an empty grid spot in P4. I think.
I thought he was heading to the pit lane to start, but maybe he went straight back to the outer paddock. So no McCarthy for this race. But we are running and riding now. It's Ian Pryor who leads, but already Neil Fowler is up to third place in that number 86.
Yeah, Fowler, I heard him talking in Parc Fermé with some of the other drivers. He said to them all he'd take it easy in the last race, and the only reason he got through so quickly was the safety car. Clearly that was an outright lie, because he's already on the back of second place Wheeler.
Yeah, he's one of the old foxes, Neil Fowler, doesn't he? A true racer at heart, and now he's passed James Wheeler as well, up into second place outright. So now we've got the top two Class D, Ian Pryor against Neil Fowler, but we know Pryor's got a problem, as he doesn't have fifth gear.
Yeah, he doesn't have fifth gear, so he's absolutely revving the nuts off that thing as we're coming into paddock, and he's actually already down the inside. It did not take him long.
I don't think he's even bothering his Pryor. He knows the car's not in the best of nick, but he's going to try and hold Wheeler back. Of course, James Wheeler running in Class C, Ian Pryor in Class D. Class D is the fastest class here. Just so you know, Jordan Spencer's the leader of Class AB as well. He's running in 11th on track. Farsi did take the start. He's in 12th. Dickinson going around in 13th in that invitational class.
It looked like Pryor might even be hitting the limiter into Surtees. It was certainly not backfire, but that's definitely going to hurt him down the main straight if it's hurting him down the short chute.
Yes, it could just be something with lifting off. It could have just been that, but he seems to be fine coming down Brabham Straight there, still gapping on James Wheeler, obviously a class below. But yeah, some fantastic driving from these guys, and I think a lot of sensible championship point gathering exercise today. They know that they're not fighting each other realistically in class and things like that, or they may not have the full ability to, so knowing what they can get and sticking with it, I think, by the looks of it.
No, James, though, he'll want to get in Pryor. He'll want to get one of the Class D cars. Can I just say as well, Neil Fowler last time round a 53.496, fastest lap of the race. The second fastest lap of the race is a 55.3. So he's 1.8 seconds, almost 2 seconds faster. Yeah, about 1.8 seconds faster than anybody, than the second fastest car on track.
Just note, Wardle's car still smoking like a steam engine, but doesn't seem to be affecting his pace.
Yeah,
Farsian's making a move on Jordan Spencer as well, by the way, a little bit further back, and I think he's got the job done round Surtees. Plenty of action going on. I can smell something up here. I wonder if it's Wardle's car.
It could well be. We were talking to him, weren't we, in Parc Fermé just beforehand. He's saying, he's got oil dripping out of the gasket for his exhaust, just dripping on the exhaust, and that's where all that smoke's coming from, so nothing too important to worry about, hopefully.
No, we've got a good battle here. Leon's picked it up. Great stuff in that is we've got Ken Dima is leading the pack, Ben Tovey in the white car just behind, and we've got Wells and Greenwood. Wells, of course, had that spin, didn't he? So this is going to be a good tussle, I think, throughout. And I actually think Wells has got past Greenwood on that last lap too, so is that now a lot of smoke coming out the back of Dima's car as well, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and it particularly looks like more when he's turning left, so obviously where the bank of that leaking exhaust is, more of the oil is flowing over with the G-force and coming out, which does make perfect sense.
Yeah, and it looks like Tovey is he going to get the job done this time on Ken Dima? Yes, he does. So it's Tovey who now leads that quartet. Just for interesting sake, they are running in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th respectively.
Wheeler definitely hasn't given up on this P2. He is on full send mode. He's just had a massive moment coming out of Graham Hill Bend, immediately a massive moment into Surtees, and yet still seems to maintain a decent gap. That is some incredible wheel work going on in that number 1 car.
Exciting stuff. We've still got good news is, guys, we've still got 12.5 minutes of this race to go, so we're not even at halfway stage, a long way to go. Now, we did predict that we think one or two cars we might see a different second half of the race, with perhaps trying to nurse the cars home. It's a lot of strain on these V8s, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of strain on these V8s, and even though the temperatures here in the UK aren't particularly boiling, even with the sun out and everything else, running them as hard as these guys are running them, it's going to take its toll. So a little bit of nursing and everything, especially with the cars being the age that they are, wouldn't go amiss by any of the drivers, I'm sure, and they know exactly what they need to do for that.
Yeah, it does look as if I think Neil Fowler's just taking his foot off the gas a little bit. Is that James Wheeler going slow?
He did come very slowly out of Graham Hill Bend.
Oh dear, let's see. He's going very slowly, isn't he? If we just turn the camera around, James Wheeler just going around the top corner up there now. The yellow car, he's going very slow indeed. I wonder if he's going to pull into the pits, is he, or does he stay out? He stays out. So James Wheeler stays out. Let's just see what sort of lap time he's done here as he comes over the line. Yeah, it's just under 1:03.270, which is 8 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race. Now, I just wonder if he's just perhaps nursing the car a little bit. However, having said that, he's only 4.8 seconds ahead of Young. So maybe he's just trying to cool the car down for a lap, and then he's going to put his foot down again.
That would make sense, and to be honest, that's the first thought I had as well.
But 11 minutes to go, though. He's got a lot of cooling down to do in that time. We're not even halfway through.
If he's going to go through that tactic for the whole race, it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, the amount he was pushing that those tyres, particularly the rears.
He's still going slow, isn't he?
He is still going fairly slow. The amount he's pushing the rear tyres, I'm not surprised if they all overheated on him, but it definitely looks like a nursing thing rather than a out-and-out mechanical, oh dear, it's gone wrong.
Yeah, well, we spoke to him also in pre-race in Parc Ferme, and he was saying how the tyres were overheating in the first race, and how he's dropped the temperature, he's dropped the pressures, so to try and help nurse the tyres so they last for that little bit longer. He's still trying through the corners, you can see that, but the car itself does it actually still seem to be coming back up to pace now?
No, I don't think that's Young right behind him there in the pale yellow car, in the pastel yellow. He's right behind him now. Battle going on at top of Druids as well. That's a great ding-dong between Wardle and Wells. These two are having a magnificent fight at the top. The two red. It's unfortunate, they all look the same, don't they, those three? They all look exactly the same. Kind of look at them having a good battle. Number 72, that's Wells. 79 is Wardle. And that's Ken Deemer right behind him as well. Perhaps he fancies a bit of it too. Sticks his hand out the window. I don't know if that's to say, all right, mate, through you go, or he's not happy.
There was a few gestures done there, I think, that, you know, I'd be pretty annoyed about if I saw in my rearview mirror.
Yeah, he had to take a bit of evasive action. It looks like now, though, they're side by side, heading down the start-finish straight here. Just tucks in behind. He's going to go in for the slipstream. It's Ollie Wardle now ahead of Wells. It's difficult to tell because they're both red cars, but I can tell you Wardle is just ahead of Wells at the minute, and Ken Deemer just behind him. He's probably loving this right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he must be absolutely loving it, and I can tell you for sure, Ian, out of these three cars, I back the red car because that one's going to be the one that wins.
Yeah, well said indeed.
I definitely think out of the three, the one at the back, he had to back out through Graham Hill Bend last time, slam on the brakes because those two were about to have an accident. But I'd rather be at the car at the back of a pack like that because at least you can see what's going to happen in front of you and don't have to, you know, be in the middle of it.
Yeah, exactly. Being in the middle is always the worst one because you're watching out the front and out the back, and you got to be on your toes both ways. But we've got some side-by-side action coming through Graham Hill Bend, which they've continued all the way through the bend.
It's just about to come to your shot now. It was actually number 19. Which is Jordan Spencer and Guy Samuels going toe-to-toe, and I think Guy Samuels got in front, so we'll follow that one closely, just keep you up to speed with everything. 8 minutes to go. It's still Neil Fowler in the lead. He's got 7-second lead over Ian Pryor in second. Then Wheeler is about 19 seconds further back in third place. Young, though, the gap, in fact, let's pick this up. Here it is, the two yellow cars just on the Cooper Straight. That's James Wheeler and that's Young. That is for position, and actually what's important, that is for the winning Class C.
Yeah, and Wheeler in the last couple of laps I think has noticed that because he still seems to be struggling a bit on the straights, but he's picked it up a bit, particularly in mid-corner speed. unfortunately for him, that gap is still coming down, just not quite as quickly as it was a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, he's had to pick it up as he's just done a 56.338. Young did a 56.322. That's how close it is between the pair of them. So Fowler leads, Pryor in second, Wheeler in third, then it's Young, Luke Spencer, then Wardle, Wells, then Wardle. It looks like Wells has got past, Dima's got past as well. What's happened to Wardle? No, he hasn't. There's definitely a problem with TSL there because Ken Dima has not got past, I can tell you that. So it's corrected itself. Wardle's 6th, Wells is 7th, Dima is 8th, Toby's 9th, Greenwood 10th, Farsi and 11th, Dickinson 12th, Samuels up to 13th, Jordan Spencer's 14th, then Strike 15th, Linfield 16th, Wright 17th. The only car we've lost is McCarthy. We don't think he even started. So we've got 17 runners and riders from race 2 of the BCV8 Championship, just under 7 minutes to go, and the battle is on for Class C honours here. They're just coming around now onto the start-finish straight. James Wheeler still managing to keep Young just behind him.
Yeah, I think he's still managing the gap pretty well. Not sure if he does have an issue or not, but he's definitely making the most of it if he does. And I think, to be fair, it's going to be touch and go, but I think he can probably still hold it behind if, of course, the issue that he is potentially carrying doesn't get any worse.
Yeah. Wheeler definitely managed the gap that time around, was 0.04 of a second. He increased the gap, but going through paddock, Young looks like he's definitely pushing much harder for this one.
Well, I think he senses blood here. I think he knows that James does not want to be pushed now in this race. I think if it was up to James Wheeler, he'd be circling doing about the 1 minute mark, but he's forced to be doing in the 56, the early 56s here, and I don't think he wants to do that. And now look, Young almost side by side with him. Is this just a case of James Wheeler's just trying to hang on for another? I mean, he's still got 6 minutes to go. Surely you can't just cling on for 6 minutes.
Well, he's definitely going to try, and I must admit, I think I'd much rather be the hunter than the hunted in this situation.
Yeah, that was an aggressive block he had to pull coming out of clearways to stay ahead, but he made it work and got the run down into turn 1 paddock that he needed, and he's still got his gap that he had the previous lap as they come into Druids.
It's interesting to watch the lines, isn't it? Because Young takes a wider line going in, so he's perhaps got a better run coming down into Graham Hill. And I think really James is just trying to cling on for life. You are watching right now James Wheeler and Young going toe to toe. This is the battle for first place in Class C, and actually third place overall in the race, so it doubly matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's you're fighting for 2 trophies, not just the one. And of course, James is looking to try to keep his 100% win record for this season.
Yeah, isn't he just? Andrew Young pushing him right to the edge though, and another lap though that James Wheeler clings on for. It's like watching a sick puppy out in front just holding on, isn't it? But he's doing a great job as James.
James is absolutely mirror driving it now, the defensive line into clearways. I think he pretty much braked on the apex, did the old touring car, if I brake here you can't accelerate. It worked for him and he managed to hold on into paddock. But I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for the 4 minutes left that we've got of this race.
Can I just say as well, there's a great battle going on between Jordan Spencer and David Strike in the AB class. That's for the win as well. We'll pick that up shortly. It matters, believe it or not, it's actually for 14-15 on track. But Jordan Spencer holding off David Strike at the minute, but it's for the class win, so that matters as well. So keep going, guys. They're now on the start-finish straight. This is, yes, Mitch, that's them there. But now we are watching that Class C battle fight, and Andrew Young, again, is even closer now to the back of James Wheeler.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be looking for a lunge into paddock, but we will see how brave can he be on the brakes.
Oh, he's going to have to be very brave.
He's being very brave.
He's got a lot of confidence, though, on the anchors, hasn't he?
He definitely does, and he's got so much confidence in that car. Again, we mentioned it in the first race, and he confirmed our theories in the Parc Fermé. That car is set up absolutely to a T. He's got absolute confidence in putting it wherever he wants and making sure that it sticks. So he will be hanging on for dear life in that car. And you can see through the corners, he's still very composed, doing the best he can, and yeah, extending the gap even potentially a little bit.
Yeah, we actually normally see his dad Johnny in that car. James is normally thumping it around in a Class D car, but he's having a great time out there, isn't he? So is Andrew Young, providing some great entertainment. Let me just see how the battle is going on as well for Class AB. The fight between Jordan Spencer and David Strike. I just wonder if I can see them and pick them up. Where are they on track? Let me just have a look. There they are actually now going up into Druids. So if you pick those two up there, in fact, This is going to get really feisty because we've got James Wheeler and Andrew Young coming up behind the battle for Class AB at the top. That's David Strike on the outside. This is for the class lead in AB. He's gone round the outside of Jordan Spencer and he takes the lead. He takes the class lead for AB. And right behind him is James Wheeler, the leader of Class C, with Andrew Young, second in Class C. Brilliant stuff.
And that AB class move was tried to set up last lap, and he learnt perfectly. That was a perfect job there. Learnt what the car ahead was going to do the lap before, and then adapted your move, got it done. But this is going to get right in the way of that Class C battle, Class D, sorry, Class C battle for the win.
Not any of these four will want to give anything up because they're all racing for the class win.
Yeah, exactly, and they seem to have nicely made their way through though, and it doesn't seem to have happened to anyone, but it has given an opportunity to get the Class AB lead back, which he has managed to do.
Jordan Spencer goes through and in the midst of traffic gets back past David Strike to take the lead in Class AB. Whilst all this is going on, it's just allowed James Wheeler another couple of car lengths lead over Andrew Young as well. We've got 1.5 minutes left to go, so that means this is the penultimate lap. In fact, where is Fowler though? We might actually we will have another lap after this one as well, I think, will we? No, this will probably be the penultimate lap, won't it? Where we are now, 1:20 on the clock. There is Neil Fowler just coming through Graham Hill Bend now. This will be the penultimate lap of the race.
He's coming up into Druids and exiting Druids, and you've got Pryor just behind him now.
Oh, he's over there, is Fowler.
Is he?
Yeah, oh yeah. Fowler's got a good old lead. He's got an 18-second lead as Neil Fowler.
Right.
Yeah, Fowler comfortably leading this one. About to start his last lap. Ian Pryor in second, Wheeler in third, Young in fourth, Luke Spencer in fifth. Ollie Wardle's made up a place on Wells to move up to sixth. Wells in 7th, Dima in 8th, Tovey in 9th, Greenwood 10th, Farsi in 11th, Samuels 12th, Dickinson 13th, and again Jordan Spencer and David Strike having a massive fight for Class AB honours in 14th and 15th respectively. Linfield is 16th, Wright is 17th, Note McCarthy. And here we go again at the top of the hill. I don't know is that for position. It is, because we've got Wardle, Wells, Tovey and Dima still having a good battle. Something's happened to Ben Tovey because he's dropped well back from that quartet. He was leading it at one point.
Yeah, real shame for him, but you never know. Points always make prizes, so it's better to have something than nothing.
Yeah, and Neil Fowler just goes through. 8 seconds left. He's now going around Clearways, heading up for the final time. OB goes onto the start-finish straight. Neil Fowler is coming down in front of us. Let me just double check. The checkered flag is there for the second. Oh, the car's gone off. Car's gone off.
That'll have to be a red flag where that position is. They'll red flag that. So they'll either take the checkered or they'll put
I'm not
a red
sure
one
who
out.
it is. I wonder if we can, if I can ask Liam if you wouldn't mind zooming in. 72. It's 72. It's Wells.
Checkered.
It's Wells has
That's
gone
the
off.
checkered. That is the checkered.
It is the checkered flag, yeah. Congratulations, Neil Fowler has won. Just to confirm that for you. Ian Pryor second. It's Wells, though, is in the wall up on the, just as starting to come onto the start-finish straight here. I wonder what, just must have got out of shape coming around Clearways.
Yeah, it's so easy to do here, where once you start to get off that racing line or the car itself steps out on you, it'll just drag you further and further out wide, and once you've grabbed the gravel, it'll just drag you even more.
And that's a real shame as well, because the AB class lead came through bumper to bumper into Cersei's, into the yellow flags. Well, I should say headlights to taillights in these cars, really. But they came through so close. So unfortunately, that battle was a bit nullified by that, because they were also catching a back marker. I would have liked to see how that finished. But yeah, it's a real shame for someone to go out so late.
Well, it was Jordan Spencer who managed to come over and win Class AB. Congratulations to him. Neil Fowler, outright winner, and Class D winner. James Wheeler picking up his holding off Andrew Young as well. That was a cracker, wasn't it? So managing to hold him off. Let's take the camera. I'm sure it's off the driver, but we do have an ambulance coming down, so let's take the camera off that car.
Yeah, we've got the medical response team
we'll put it on us for a little bit. We've got the ambulance going around, but we'll just double check everything's okay with Mr. Wells. But it is Neil Fowler who has won the race. Pryor second, Wheeler in third, but takes the Class C honours. Young is fourth. What a great drive that was by both James Wheeler and Andrew Young, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wheeler proved me completely wrong. I did not think he'd be able to hold on, particularly with the amount of time left.
Did I, to be honest.
Yeah, it was an incredible defensive drive, and also a variety. I mean, we knew after race 1 he was confident with the outside line, paddock and Druids. I've never seen anyone try it that much defensive on the outside of a corner since I tried it at Donington, and it didn't work for me. So it was an absolute masterclass of defensive driving, but they both gave each other a massive amount of respect, and that is the best thing you can ask for.
It is. Let's just pop TSL on the screen so you can see for yourself how things have finished. We're just going to see if we can get confirmation that Steve Wells is actually. Let's hope he is. Now, there's going to be no park thermal interviews. The cars are going straight back to the outer paddock, so we won't be able to get over there. But that is how things have finished. As we said, we got down to Andrew Young, didn't we, in 4th place. Luke Spencer finished in 5th. Ollie Wardle in 6th. Ben Tovey in 7th. Ken Dima in 8th. Greenwood in 9th. They're all Class C cars. And the winner, by the way, we didn't mention this at all actually, but Class B, Guy Samuels taking the win, finished 10th on track. In the invitation class, Dickinson taking the win there. He's the only car in it, of course, but a pair of wins for Dickinson. Well worth the trip from Canada then, I think.
Yeah, definitely well worth the trip from Canada. And again, of course, another driver that gets to keep a 100% win record for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Spencer, congratulations, winner in the AB class. David Strike was it was a second in the end, but as we said, it was nullified because of the yellows. Steve Wells, unfortunately, in the wall. Let's hope he's okay. Is classified as 14th. Babak Farzian classified as 15th, and then Paul Linfield 16th, and rides in 17th. No Russell McCarthy. Right, that is it, gentlemen. As I said, unfortunately, no Parc Fermé interviews. They are in the outer paddock, and so they've gone straight back there. They're going to be packing up and heading off home. Just a quick reminder of the BCV8 Championship dates again for you for the rest of the season. I think we're live with at about 6 or 7 or so of the events. The little live icon next to the date is where we are going to be broadcasting it live for you. So make sure, if you haven't already, I'm going to say it again, I know it irritates like anything, these two guys, but Live Sport Now is the place to watch it all. I mean, Mitch is laughing his head off. Live Sport Now, the place to view all of our live motorsport in 2023. So make sure you head on over. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight through. And if you like what you're seeing of the BCV8s too, again, visit the website bcv8.co.uk is the place to do it. Right, let's take that down. It's been an eventful day here for the BCV8s. It has ended on a bit of a lull, shall we say, a bit of a down note. Yeah, we do hope Steve is okay. We'll keep you updated across the BCV8 Championship socials, so do check them out as well. Gentlemen, I can't thank you both enough as well for joining me this week. And Charles Boniface, superstar racer, Mitch Murray, also superstar racer, talented actor as well. Is there anything these two can't do? Basically, take me out of a job, really, which is fine by me. Charles, you enjoyed the weekend?
Oh, I've absolutely loved it. Thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to come back and do it with you all again.
Well, you're going to be with us at Castle Combe, aren't you, for that BCV8 couple of races as well. Mitch, you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I think the sun coming out at the end of the weekend's just icing on the cake, really.
It certainly has. Big thank you as well to everybody for tuning in and watching. We do really appreciate it. We're going to go get ourselves off home now, I think, and enjoy what little is left of the evening. The sun is out here at Brands Hatch. The BCV8 Championship, though, is over until Castle Combe next month. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.